Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in this crypto world. My name is Cody, and have I got an exclusive for you with Earnscape. Today, we're getting to know some of the people behind the scenes that work at Earnscape, and one of those people is Salik, our CTO. So, how are we doing, Salik?
I'm doing good. How are you, Cody?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know there's a little bit of a time difference and that
Yeah,
you're on holiday, so definitely appreciate you taking time to make dedication to be here. So we greatly appreciate it, and I know our community will as well. So why
yeah.
don't you just kind of tell us a little bit about who Salik is, your background, work experience, career, that kind of thing, whatever you feel
Definitely,
comfortable in sharing.
definitely. Okay, so I am essentially a techie, of course. I did my bachelor's in computer sciences, my majors in uh, object-oriented programming. That's for the techie guys out there. And then I started my career as a Python backend developer. That was in 2016, almost a decade ago, 9 years ago. Worked with some good conglomerates, building internal technical functions and so on and so forth. Then I took a leap first time in 2019 to start working with a Danish startup by the name Raw Research. They were a competitor to McKinsey and Deloitte and all sort of research company, as the name suggests. Built a whole technical aspect for them, a whole CRM that was capable of making calls, recording data, converting qualitative data into quantitative one, and bringing insights out of it. That's where I started. Like I started a one-man army and then grown the company from tech perspective to 2 million euros ARR. And then afterwards, I started working with some hedge funds and so on and so forth. And now I'm working with Earnscape in Web3.
Nice, amazing. That sounds like a fantastic career you've had. So,
Yeah.
when did you start with Earnscape specifically? Do you remember?
So I have been there since the inception of the name itself. Like I was one of the contributors who was accepting the name. So that's even before it was born, I have been working with Steve, of course, the CEO. So yeah, I've been there with Earnscape since the time it has existed.
That's awesome. So, probably one of the questions that the community will have is how did you and Steve get hooked up then? How did you meet
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah. So I was working with an American company based out of Connecticut. I was Director Information Technology Delivery over there. I was supposed to deliver IT functions and so on and so forth to customers. That's when Steve started working with that company. That's when we met because I was director, so I was in very close touch with Steve. So that was the first interaction, and then the relationship grew from there.
That's amazing. So yeah, so what fascinated you so much to come over to Earnscape? I mean, it's a total different realm than what you've been kind of working in. I mean, gaming platform versus
Yeah,
informational. I mean, in a
yeah.
sense, it's kind of the same thing, but in reality, what made you make the switch over into gaming?
All right, so I actually never made a switch over into gaming because one of my another majors is from Michigan State University, and that's for game development. I've been a game developer myself. I've been a gamer as well. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, all seasons across. I play a lot of other mobile games as well, and developed them. I developed an indie game back in, like a mobile indie game back in 20, I think 2015 by the name Planet X. I still have a video of it on YouTube, but the game is not there anymore because it was a shitty game, unfortunately. So I knew the gaming space, and during my career working with one of the hedge funds based out of England, they were dedicated towards Web3 projects. So that's when I started evaluating Web3 technical company from the technical aspects and learned how to code the smart contracts and so on and so forth. So Earnscape realm was not completely alien to me. I was very much familiar with the gaming and Web3, but the intersection of both was very exciting for me because at that time XZ Infinity and everything was coming into place. So that was the new cool. Uh, from the technical perspective, I knew both the realms, so I thought I might be a very good figure to sit in the middle where Web 2 and Web 3 gaming has a sort of merger. So that's the enticing factor for me to join Earnscape.
Awesome. Well, I'm pretty sure another follow-up question is people are going to ask is what is your game of choice? What is that OG game that will forever stick in your mind?
Okay, I'm not going to lie with that. And the game is Candy Crush. It's a real time killer.
Wow, nice. I'm a closet Candy Crush
Yeah.
player as well. I think I'm
All
on
right.
like level 3000 or something. I don't know. But
Wow.
I've been
Wow.
playing it for a long, long time as well. I
Yeah,
think you and I could probably give some grandma some good competition, right? So
definitely,
no,
definitely.
that's awesome. So, you're gonna have to definitely share with me at least the
Uh-huh.
YouTube video. I want to see this game that you created. We may have to collab on a game idea that I had uh, down the road, but that's for another conversation
Definitely,
between you
definitely,
and I.
definitely,
Um,
definitely,
Ernst,
definitely.
yeah, so Earnscape's definitely pushing the envelope. I mean, that's one reason why I got attracted to the project as well is I
Hmm.
love to push the boundaries, especially when
Hmm.
merging Web 2 mobile with Web 3 and
Hmm.
blockchain technology and kind of creating a seamless user experience, right? So
Agree.
we're definitely doing a lot of innovative stuff. And so what
Mhm.
is one thing that we're working on right now that you are absolutely giddy about, that you are bullish on and can't wait to have it see come to market?
So the most exciting feature that we are working on, it's twofold, all right? It's not one. What like the first one is our travel system. I don't know if the community knows about it, but we have a whole system, we call it travel, that has the whole mechanism of rewarding users for their playtime. And that is actually the merger of Web3 and Web2, where users stake their tokens, get it out of there, and upon staking, they get certain values from the Web2 part of the ecosystem, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're working on. We're on the last smart contract. We have completed it, tested it. Now the integration part of that smart contract is in progress. The second part is obviously streaming. The streaming, mobile game streaming within mobile games, that has not ever been done before, as far as my very limited knowledge is. Maybe there's someone out there who has created it, but I have not. I didn't encounter anything like that so far. So we have accomplished it. We have done that in beta version. People are testing it. That coming out to the audience with the feature where any one of our streamers can create their own website, sign up with us, and have their own streams broadcasted on their website. That is the feature, right? Stream is one thing. People can see your streams, but we have an additional feature in which you can, like you being a streamer, let's say Cody has a lot of streams, maybe two, three streams recorded, or so on and so forth. You can have all of those on your own website, and all of your live streams will be available on the website whenever you're streaming. So if somebody does not have Earnscape, they still can see all your streams. So these are the two things that are pretty extra exciting, pretty new. Nobody has ever done that. Again, a disclaimer, not to my knowledge. Maybe there's someone else, but yeah, these are the two things I'm really, really looking forward to.
No, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to as well. Being kind of doing these spaces and doing interviews and things like this, the
Yeah,
application that this could expand into is
exactly.
phenomenal, right? And
Phenomenal.
so,
Yeah.
um, I obviously there's always technical hurdles. There's always new tech that needs to be developed. And from my understanding is that you guys are definitely pioneering and paving the way for some of this newer technology that we're talking about here. Therefore, it's not out there. And so this is why it takes time. It's not like you can just,
Takes
oh, I
time.
want to use this function, I want to use that feature
Yeah,
and kind of put
yeah,
them together, right?
yeah,
So yeah, so with that being said, I mean, how do you and the rest of the developers for Earnscape, kind of meet those challenges head on? Do you have a good process in place? Do you have a check and balance? Like, kind of walk us through your mind when it comes to visualizing that dot that's out there because there is no paved path. You have to make your
yeah,
own path. So what happens
yeah.
when you do come across these different challenges?
So there are three SOPs that we usually follow. Um, we used to have two before before LLMs, before ChatGPT, before Grok, but now we have three. And I don't shy away in saying that we do use ChatGPT, we do use Grok, we do use Gemini, not because we rely on them, just because we want to increase our efficiency by minimizing the trial and testing research time, right? So our SOP is threefold. First is we put in that whatever hurdle we face, we put in that hurdle in all of these three, four LLMs or the AI models that we have out there and see what all these three, DeepSeek as well, by the way, we see all what they give input on, right? How all these three, four AI models are trying to tackle the issue that we have shared. Then we try to implement it. If it works, fair enough, looks good, we go ahead with it. If not, then we reach out to relevant people. For example, I still don't know the name, but we created a Reddit thread for a problem, for a UX problem that we were facing. We didn't know how to, we were not able to figure out how to frame a dashboard. We broadcasted that issue on Reddit. One of the leads on in Google, UX leads on Google gave us feedback on it. And it worked because obviously human brain at the end of the day is above all LLMs out there. So the experience that he had, I still don't know the name. It's anonymous. That's the beauty of these platforms. But that guy has actually put up his experience as well. That is the second thing that we do. And then the third one is we try to alter the underlying libraries. A bit technical. What we try to do is not alter the pre-built libraries and try to use existing functions as much as we can to accomplish our goal. If that doesn't work in either of the first two scenarios, the LLMs and the experience from the industry doesn't help, then we go into the library. It's uh, like shaving a honeycomb that makes all the bees fly away. That's why it's very difficult to contain whenever you're changing something in a pre-built library. But eventually, in some cases, we had to do that. For example, tracking the time of the gameplay, we had to do that because you do not have any function. Nobody has done that where you externally track time from another app that's also not active, but like the game is active, Earnscape app is not active. Yet the Earnscape app is working on top of the game. So that doesn't exist. So we had to do that. We had to get into the architecture level, the operating system level, and had to do all of that stuff. So these are the three SOPs that we follow. They have been working so far.
Yeah, and I think it's important for anybody that's listening in, when you're developing out an MVP, most
Yeah.
valuable product, that's one thing that you got to tap into are existing libraries, existing technology,
Yes.
existing stuff, because you definitely don't want to go out from a startup and build it from scratch, from zero, from
Exactly.
the foundation up,
Exactly.
because you can spend hundreds of millions of dollars like that, and people
Yes.
will think your game sucks, your app
Yes.
sucks, nobody
Yes.
will use it, and your investors are like, knocking at your door
Yeah.
wanting their money back, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
I think that that's a great approach that you did, and I do love what you said about reaching out to other fellow community members of the developer community, right? Even though they may not work for us, everybody, that's just how the community is, right? It's a tight-knit
Exactly.
community, especially when you get into these specific type of languages. I'm not
Yes.
a coder by any means, but being a UI UX designer by trade, learning how to front end code was like one of the best things for
Yeah.
me because
Yeah.
it helped me understand where you guys are coming from. And
Yeah.
let's be honest, a designer and a developer talk two totally different languages.
Different languages. Agreed.
Exactly. And oftentimes we need a Google translator in between us to kind of make the two worlds to come together. But for me, learning
Yeah.
how to code was awesome because now I take into consideration when I design the elements of like, okay, Salik is going to have a
Yeah.
really hard time with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, can we do it some other way? Can we do this or that, type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Agreed.
that's phenomenal because we do the same thing in the design community, right? We're
Yeah.
having challenges, we're having kind of hurdles that we need to overcome. We'll throw it out into our little chats
Exactly.
forums that we have as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're definitely making something good there. Uh, for anybody, since you've got more of a technical background and also a gaming background, for
Mm.
anybody that's listening, I'm a huge fan and I'm a huge mentor when it comes to when I do public speaking is I believe that whoever hears our voice is we're not going to be the ones to solve the problem. We're kind of just amplifying it, right? We're only going to
Yeah.
be triggering the younger generation into coming forward, getting involved in gaming, getting involved in the tech, getting involved in the UI UX kind of design of applications, especially in Web3. And I hope to spark somebody, right? To drive curiosity. What kind of advice or mentorship tips would you give to somebody that's interested in getting into either one of these or both combined? Like what path would you recommend?
So, one thing that people think usually when it comes to, like, if you're talking about technical development, right? We're talking about technical development, not the marketing side of it. For technical development, I would always suggest a lot of fresh graduates who try to be project managers from day one, who try to be solution architects from day one. I always suggest start from ground level. When you're talking about development, get your hands dirty. Do not use LLMs, do not use AI to your convenience for coding, especially when you're learning. Once you're in my age, once you have done all of that, you know how it works. You can identify issues that AI has given the code out of, then it makes sense. But before that, always try with coding, hands down, get your hands dirty. It comes when it comes to gaming, of course, game development and so on and so forth. First learn it, then do it. Game development is not kind of industry where you learn while you code, right? Web development, website and stuff like that is like an industry where you can learn while you code, but game development is not like that. When you're working on Unity 3D or Unreal Engine, you first have to learn the tool, you first have to learn the language. So learn first, then implement, and then learn and grow. It's not like the other conventional orthodox industry. uh, do play games. If you're in game development, do play games as much as you can, no matter how much your parents say, because I still remember I was once playing a game just to get the experience before developing a game. My mom came in and she said, what do you keep on doing all day? You're just playing games. I was like, no, I'm developing one. So play games so that you understand as much as you can. When it comes to Web3, stay away from scams as much as you can, obviously. And when it comes to development, then obviously start with EVM chain, learn development, how to make basic smart contracts and underlying architecture, read about it. And then obviously then start making your own projects. You should have a portfolio of smart contracts down the line in 6 months, 7 months, because it's very easy. It looks scary from outside world, but blockchain development is not that difficult. So yeah, that would be my 2 cents.
Awesome. Any resources, any websites, anything like that that you would recommend people going to?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the because we are talking about beginner level right now, anybody who's advanced obviously can figure their way out. But if you talk about our audience who want to begin, who want to start, I would say there's a course called Blockchain for Business 101 on edX. Go for it. It's one of the best courses that I've seen for dummies. And when I say dummies, I mean for people who are starting up development in blockchain. For game development, Michigan State University on Coursera offers a full suite of 5 courses that I did as well. It's a whole specialization course, and it gives you an opportunity to do a capstone project at the end of the course as well. It's all game development, one of the best courses I've ever done. So for gaming and blockchain, that's all it works.
No, no plug there, right?
Yeah.
No, no, that's cool. That's way cool. So, again, I appreciate you taking the time. I have one final question for you, but I definitely wanted to say thank you for taking time. I know that you're on holiday. It's a very sacred holiday
No
for you,
problem.
but I
No problem. No
appreciate you
problem.
taking time. So the last question is, what, where, let me rephrase this. What kind of innovation would you like to implement into Earnscape into the future?
Um, so my my biggest aim with Earnscape would be moving ahead is two ways: personalization and localization. When I say personalization, I want people to see and play games that are most localized to them and fit to their personal behavior of gaming. Because if you give me a game, a first person shooter game on mobile, I'm not going to play it. I'm not that kind of person. So I don't want Earnscape to recommend that sort of games to me as well. So a smart recommendation engine within Earnscape, and then localization. I want to play games that people around me are playing so that it builds a gaming community, sub communities within the community, right? So localization and personalization using AI would be my next target in Earnscape once we deliver the current roadmap.
I love it. I love it. And we're definitely headed there with the leaderboard. I don't know if a
Yeah,
lot of people are paying attention to that's kind of the first step for us kind of
yeah,
moving into that direction.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
leaderboards are taking these single games like Candy Crush, right? That aren't
yeah,
meant to be multiplayer games. Yeah, they've
yeah,
got the leaderboards and stuff in there,
yeah,
but the capabilities that we're going to be able to do with those leaderboards is phenomenal, right? It's
yeah.
gonna
Agreed.
blow those leaderboards that are in game completely out of the water, and being able to couple that with like streaming and all these different kind of things that we could do, prize pools, all that kind of stuff is headed directly right where you're at.
Agreed.
So but
Agreed.
anyways, Salik, thank you so much for taking the time. Apologize to your wife for me,
No
but
problem. No problem.
she is a gem for letting
Yeah,
you come on for a few minutes. So thank
yeah.
you again, and thanks for everybody tuning in. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate your support, and hopefully having this look behind the scenes was a great kind of feel for you guys to be able to see what's actually happening, that people are seriously passionate about Earnscape. It's just not us showing up for a paycheck trying to build something. We're all passionate about it here. So, anyways, until next time, thank you so much for everybody tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye
Thank you.
bye.